Hey guys, welcome back to week 2 of YouTube Youth Group. We have 2 announcements for you. The first one is this: no more worship night. It's not going to happen next week. I'm so sorry. We are rescheduling, okay? We're not just canceling. It will happen when we come back to Youth Group.
Second announcement is this: spring break has also been canceled, so we're all being left behind, but at least we're together. We'll plan lots of fun things for when we come back. We're going to start into worship now, and then our second devotional for YouTube Youth Group. So let me pray. God, thank you for the chance that we can gather virtually and still be together and still be a body of Christ. I pray that you would just give us all missions in our homes and with our friends and the people that we connect with in different ways right now. Pray that you would just continue to fill us during this time and give us lots of rest. Worship with us now.
I'll raise a hallelujah in the presence of my enemies. I'll raise a hallelujah louder than the unbelief. I'll raise a hallelujah. Is a melody. I'll raise a hallelujah. Heaven comes to fight for me, and I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm, louder and louder. Gonna hear my praises roar up from the ashes. Hope will arise. Death is defeated. The King is alive. I'll raise a hallelujah with everything inside of me. I'll raise a hallelujah. I will watch the darkness flee. I'll raise a hallelujah in the middle of the mystery. I'll raise a hallelujah. Fear you lost your hold on me, and I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm, louder and louder. Gonna hear my praises roar up from the ashes. Hope will arise. Death is defeated. The King is alive. Sing a little louder. Sing a little louder. Sing a little louder. Sing a little louder. Sing a little louder in the presence of my enemies. Sing a little louder, louder than the unbelief. Sing a little louder. My weapon is a melody. Sing a little louder. Heaven comes to fight for me. Sing a little louder in the presence of my enemies. Sing a little louder, louder than the unbelief. Sing a little louder. My weapon is a melody. Sing a little louder. Heaven comes to fight for me. I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm, louder and louder. Gonna hear my praises roar up from from the ashes, hope will arise. Death is defeated, the King is alive. And I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm, louder and louder. Gonna hear my praises roar. Up from the ashes, hope will arise. Death is defeated, the King is alive. And I can't get enough. No, I can't get enough of your amazing love. No, I can't get enough. And I can't walk away. No, I can't walk away. For I have seen your face. Jesus, I can't walk away. And I just want to be where you are. And I just want to be near your heart. There is nothing like your love. Jesus, there is nothing like your love. And I can't get enough. No, I can't get enough of your amazing love. Jesus, I can't get enough. I can't walk away. No, I can't walk away. For I have seen your face. Jesus, I can't walk away. And I just want to be where you are. And I just want to be near your heart. There is nothing like your love. Jesus, there is nothing like your love. Singing holy, holy, singing holy, holy, holy. Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I love you. Singing holy, holy, you are holy, holy. We're singing holy, holy. Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I love you. And I just want to be where you are. And I just want to be near your heart. There is nothing like your love. There is nothing like your love. And I can't get enough. No, I can't get enough of your amazing
from a devotional called, "Just Tell Them All Their Wildest Dreams Will Come True If They Vote For You." Seems like everyone these days is daring to dream. Gone are the days when men wore hats, when they worked for the same company for 30 or 40 plus years, while their wives stayed home to raise the children and keep the house spotless and wear pearls and dresses. Maybe those days never really existed except on TV. But dreams are a big part of the overall human conversation now. What do you want to be when you grow up is no longer a question just for elementary school kids, and answers like doctor, firefighter, astronaut, or ballet dancer are no longer gender specific. We live in an unprecedented time when you can pretty much have the opportunity to do just about anything you want to do as long as it's legal. And dreams don't stop with occupations. Most of us working for a living, so most of us automatically assign dreams to the way we provide for ourselves. But dreams can apply to other realms. We can dream of a certain family life or of being able to pursue certain hobby. We may dream of playing professional sports or of being a rock star, and not because of the money those dreams would bring, but because of the fame. Like dreams themselves, the word dream has broad applications. So that begs the question, what are your wildest dreams? You live in a society where those dreams are most likely possible. Are you living them out? What would you be doing with your life if you absolutely knew you could not fail at it? Would your life be any different? Here we have this amazing capacity to flex our dream muscles and make our wildest dreams happen, and yet so many of us aren't doing it. That's why Pedro's promise of wildest dreams coming true could carry so much weight among the student body. That and Napoleon's dance were enough to propel Pedro past summer to the presidency. Sweet. Perhaps many people aren't seeing fulfilled dreams in their lives because they're looking to the wrong thing to fulfill them. David wrote in one of his Psalms that it is God who gives the desires of the heart. It isn't a boss or a parent. It isn't a sibling or a child. It isn't an occupation or a hobby. It isn't a car or a 52-inch plasma flat screen TV or sweet dance grooves or any one particular thing or talent. God is the one who makes our wildest dreams come true. But there's a catch. If we back up and check out more of David's psalm, we see that there's more to it. We see that before he talks about God giving the desires of our hearts, there's something we have to do: delight ourselves in God. In a sense, we have to vote for him. But instead of just checking a box or being done with our part, we get to be fully involved on staff with the administration and participating in daily briefings. Fortunately for us, these things are a delight. A relationship with God is meant to be delightful, a joy, a wonder. Remember, as little children grow, delightful a trip to the ice cream shop was. Eating that single scoop of vanilla or chocolate or strawberry atop a sugar cone funnel, it didn't get any better. That's a shadow of delight God wants us to have in our relationship with him. But we so often get that part of the equation wrong, looking instead to delight ourselves in our desires instead of the God who gives us those desires. We expect the time machine to work without putting in the crystals, and then we get frustrated when all we get is shock. A lamp won't illuminate anything if it isn't plugged into the working outlet. God is the source from which our desires will shine. Expecting it the other way around only leads to disappointment. And then there's another way of looking at it. Maybe, just maybe, people aren't seeing their dreams fulfilled because they're dreaming the wrong dreams. When David said God would give us the desires of our heart, maybe he was talking about God literally placing the desires in our hearts in the first place. If so, then delighting in God brings fulfillment in two ways. Not only do we get to live our desires, but we get to live the right desires, the God-given ones. Look at Napoleon. He spends the entire movie drawing animals and warriors and stuff. He draws because he has a desire to express himself creatively. However, while this desire is in the same vein, it is at the right angle to his actual talent, dancing. Dancing is a creative expression, but through a different art form. And it is the one Napoleon is actually best at. When we delight ourselves in God, not saying Napoleon found his killer dance skills because he delighted in God, but you get the point. He directs us towards the desires that best match our gifts and talents, as well as giving us a stage where we can see those desires happen in our lives. So dare to dream. Just make sure you're dreaming in the right direction. and then all your wildest dreams will come true. So we've all been sitting around the house for some time now, right? And for me, at least, maybe you too, I've been thinking, what if? What if I could leave the house? What would I be doing? What if you didn't have to hang out with your siblings all day? Who would you be hanging out with? And maybe your parents have even asked, what are you going to do with your life if you can't even pick up your room? There's a lot of things. So what would you do, though? We have all this time to sit and think, and we have extra time that isn't being clouded by all the busyness, that we can just sit in the presence of God and actually consider, what will we do with our life? Or what would our wildest dreams be? And I think there's two different categories of wildest dreams. I think there's the category of, what do you want to do with your whole entire life? And then the second one is, who do you want to be? So first of all, what do you want to do with your whole entire life? Someone's probably asked you this question, maybe even this week. But no one ever has a good answer for that, right? We can list off a whole ton of dreams, but no one actually knows what they're going to do. So for me, when I was growing up, I'd always list off 3 or 4 jobs. I want to be a vet. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a nurse. I want to be a professional dancer, specifically a Rockette in New York. But as I grew up, I kind of grew out of those dreams. And it more turned into what do I want to do with the things I'm good at, or with my giftings or talents, or what are my passions, right? I was passionate about being a Rockette, but then I found out you have to be 6 foot tall to even be considered. That's not me. That is not a dream that God put into my life. It's just something I saw someone else doing that I thought looked cool. Instead, I had a whole different set of giftings. So I was I'll go be a nurse. I can do this. From 6th grade until my junior year. And then I started actually helping out at a hospital and volunteering, and I was put on a rehab floor, and I was this is not life-giving. This is not the way I want to use my giftings. Now I don't know what I'm going to do, and I'm applying to colleges all over, right? My original plan wasn't working out. My original thought for how I could use my giftings wasn't working out, and so I thought I had to figure it out myself. And I knew what God had gifted me with. I'd taken plenty of personality tests. I'd taken plenty of spiritual gifts tests. But I still didn't know what to do. So I went into school with a major in psychology. And all throughout school, I literally prayed, if I fail a class, I know this is not the right path for me. And I wouldn't suggest doing that. But I was just trying to figure it out on my own, instead of letting God put something into my life. And along the way, I found different jobs, I tried out different things, but eventually God led me here. And I could still sit here and think I don't know, maybe I'm not cut out for this. But he put a desire and dream into my heart and then gave me a path to go on. I didn't have to keep searching like I was doing. I didn't have to keep wondering and questioning where will God actually use me, because if I don't figure it out, I'm going to just sit on the side of the road and make friendship bracelets and have to sell those, right? You have the same ability to sit with God and listen to him. I finally was able to sit with God and listen to him, and he led me to different career paths, and I did them, and he molded me and shaped me through that, and then finally landed me right here. But he also wants to put a dream and a desire in your heart so that you know where to even start at. It may not be this is what I want to do, and it works out the first time. It may be this is what I want to do, and there are steps to get there. What David says in Psalm 37, verse 4, it says, "Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you your heart's desires." What does it mean to delight in the Lord? When we're looking at our heart's desires, it's really easy to look at someone else's life and be I want that. I want to be like them. I want to do cool things. But if we're not sitting with God, then we're not recognizing who he made us to be, and we're not recognizing the things that he's already gifted us with. So you can take extra time and you can look at that. But then there's the second category of wildest dreams, which is, who do you want to be? We have a chance every day to be somebody. We have a chance to pick our attitude. We have a chance to pick our reputation. We have a chance to decide how we want to treat others and what we want to be known as. And I think that God can give us a desire in our heart to actually act the way that he calls us to as Christians and as his disciples. It's really hard to make good choices on our own sometimes. Like when someone does something that makes you mad, it's really easy to just get angry and tell them off and walk away, right? It's not by our own strength that we're acting like God and we're acting like a Christian. But if we're seeking God, he can give us a desire and a passion for treating people the way God would want us to treat them. And all of a sudden, our new purpose in life is just being a light. We've got a lot of opportunity to be a light with our family, with our friends, at school, at home. And you've got an opportunity right now to start practicing so that when you are back at school or back with your friends, you're already being the best version of yourself, the version that God has created you to be. But that can't come from just deciding to do it. Because if that's the case, you'll be really empty by the end of the day, and it's going to be really hard to continue doing that. There's life after this quarantine. I know it doesn't seem like it, especially now that we're all really stuck in our houses. There is. So what do you want to do when you get done? Who do you want to be? I'm going to challenge you to take some extra time, just like David did in the Psalms he wrote about it, but just like he did, kind of deciding like, who do I want to be, God? What do I want to stand as? Who do I want to be going forward as the king of your people? Who do you want to be? What do you want to do with your life? What has God given to you? And then who do you want to be? What do you want to act like? How do you want to be a light for him? If you start asking that question now, it's going to be a whole lot easier when the questions start coming from other people.
Praise God from whom all blessings